Hi, everyone. How many of you are here already? I'm waiting. I am waiting. Hello, hello. Akash Mishra. You said come. I am here. Are you guys here? Because I'm not seeing anyone's here just yet. So just wanted to check in. I may actually just maybe play some music before anyone joins. Hello, hello. It's already 9:30. Yes, it's, I guess, late for you, but I do have work to do, so I cannot do this earlier these days. Adavin, thank you. How are you guys? What's happening? Talk to me. Hello, Arohi. How are you? I'm just looking at some music. I'm just thinking, playlist chill vibes. What do you guys think? Can you hear it? Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Tell us what's happening. Tell me what's happening. How have you all guys been? It's been a minute. Rodira, I work in like a marketing automation. Thank you. Thank you. How are you, Rohi? You were impatient. You said, come. So I'm here. Anna Gasser and also Reagan his debate. It's a tricky one. I think that the challenge, hi Prabhat, hi happiness is everything. Yeah, challenge with these podcasts is that obviously like I don't understand any kind of internal Indian politics, so it would be very hard for me to actually lead these conversations. You know what I mean? So I'm always in two minds about stuff like that. Raful, thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm saying hi to Bhargav in Warsaw. I hope the weather in Warsaw is still nice and you're preparing for this very lovely, chilly Polish winter. Weather today is actually quite nice, quite hot. Maybe it's even 25 today. So, I mean, the autumn is clearly coming. Are you enjoying being a YouTuber? It's a good question. You know what? It has been maybe a bit more enjoyable from the start. It was just like because it was super fresh, super nice. But then somehow this channel has diverted into politics, and I cannot tell you that I am enjoying doing that much of reviews of political things because it's just not really my passion point. But I understand that you guys want to view it, so. It is what it is, but I guess the thing is that what I love is all you guys, and thank you for 30K. It really does mean a lot, and I think the enjoyable part about YouTube is the ability to connect with all of you and have my chit chats, and I think that's the great part of being YouTuber. All the background work, not so much. I wish I had someone to actually properly help me with that, but we're not there yet. Thank you, everyone. Warsaw is cloudy. Oh, and how are the floods in Warsaw? Because I think Slovakia stood the best when it came to all the floods. So I do not have a family, if that's what you guys are wondering. But tell me what's happening with all of you. Because I'm hearing Modi is in the US. What are you guys expecting coming out of that? And please do share, like, and subscribe, and share and like this live so more people can join us. What I'm interested in, not politics. Politics is the last thing on my interest list. I'm interested in spirituality and personal and self-growth. I've coach certified for 10 years now. So this is actually my true passion. Hi, Nakul. How are you doing? When are you visiting India next? It's a good question. It's a very good question. I haven't thought about that one just yet. There's just so many things to go and see in India. And it's also a very expensive trip, I would say. I went there, I don't know if you've seen my videos, but I did have a guide in the first couple of days. And, like if you look at the value for the money that I've spent, I could have spent in some luxurious 5-star resort, perhaps in Maldives, for the money that I've spent in India. So it's a tricky one because I realized, and you guys all were telling me that you should have someone that there. So for the second half, I had a friend with me, which was great. And I don't think I could go again to India without having someone to actually be there for me. So it's a quite expensive trip. Your YouTube is the worst. Lovely. Thank you. Happiness is everything. Thank you, interesting explorer. I am not married. We all thought you have family and kids. I wish. I wanted it like 10 years ago. So how much do I meditate daily? An hour. I listen to, I don't know if you guys heard of things called holocene. I've been doing it for a number of years now. It's this kind of like a binary sound that help to enhance. So it definitely does enhance the kind of meditation and really helps with the awareness. So that's nice. Good evening, Gaurav, to India. Yeah, India is expensive. Yeah, I didn't feel like India was cheap. Even the flights, intercontinental, I didn't think that they were cheap at all. Well, I pay more than 2,000 euros for my whole trip. So yeah, thank you. I'm learning English. Where are you from? I am from Slovakia. In chess, yesterday, congratulations. I don't really follow chess, but I think it's really nice. It's a very mind tactical game. What are we talking about? We're just connecting, talking about anything. I asked you guys about Moody in the US, and I haven't looked into that. You guys just mentioned. So if you know what the purpose of the trip and what your expectations are, that would be great. Gaurav, thank you. That's very kind of you. How long was I in India for? I think around 2 weeks, not full 2 weeks. So it was very, very hectic. It was a very exhausting trip. It was just very full on. Rodria, thank you so much. You're actually, thank you. It really does mean a lot because sometimes when, I guess when you come to do this online, you don't really realize what it comes with. And yeah. And for that matter, I'm just sometimes thinking to myself if I should stop this all because I just really don't appreciate the negativity. Any updates on my YouTube spiritual videos channel? Not yet. I'm contemplating. So maybe it's a good crowd to tell me like what would you like me to do, because in my ideal world I would do original content. It's just so time heavy. There's one particular video that I'm wanting to do for maybe a year. It's just I'm not best with the editing skill, etc. So maybe let me know what kind of things would you maybe want me to talk about. On Project Shivoham, yes, yeah, they're great. I like them. They're very good. We need to include more of these. What are my hobbies? Well, YouTube is basically a hobby, but I'm getting back into exercising, which I haven't properly done for a while, and I need to find a personal trainer. And I'm going to nutritionist. I'm completely like changing a lot of things in my life. So it comes with a lot of exhaustion. So it's a fun trip right now. Rodria, does really mean a lot when you say that how fake that I don't feel that well, that's the thing. So I'm just going to highlight this. The thing is, and maybe I was thinking, let me know what you think, to create a reaction for all the haters, just have a video for all the haters and explain how cost intensive this is. So, how expensive my laptop is, how much gear I had to buy, how other virtuals, like for example, this costs a lot of money. It just came yesterday with a huge hefty bill. So I'm going to change my streaming service, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but Slovakia is doing so bad economically that I don't know if you heard about the Greek way, like how Greek almost went bankrupt. That's kind of where Slovakia is headed right now. So they are doing consolidation of finances, and they're increasing our VAT like from 20 to 23%. So from New Year, everything is going to be even more expensive. Mindfulness would be a good topic to discuss. Yeah, what about it, please God? Yes, pushing India in quote just to defend BRICS, possibly. Yeah, India's for everyone. It depends where you eat. Yeah. Like in India, like the hotels that we stayed were really good. Perhaps my least favorite was the one in Rishikesh. Actually, but I just loved Rishikesh, and I loved that the hotel was like kind of overseeing Ganga River. It was so cool. Yeah, no, I loved it. How Slovaks perceive India. Secondly, what is the Muslim demography? So I don't know how Slovaks perceive Indians, to be honest. I said it many times, and I don't really want to be like continually be critical. The most experience the Slovaks have with Indians is through work. So far, the experience hasn't been the most positive. Some has been positive, some hasn't been. For most, it hasn't been, but I don't think that they have any particular point of view on Indians. I think that Slovak people really do enjoy Indian food. So, yeah, I would have to go around the streets and ask people as to how they perceive it. And Muslim demography of Slovakia was never interested in, to be honest. I don't think we have that many Muslims. Yeah, I found a video purchasing party. This video is very informal. Yeah, okay. Please react on that. Good staying energetic in childhood. Oh, in childhood, what did I want to be? What did I want to be? I don't know if you had this series, but Indiana Jones, and there was like a female equivalent of that. It was like a show called Sydney Fox. Was the main character, and she went around the ancient places and like was discovering cool stuff. So I've always had interest in like the ancient, in the history, and I ended up studying history. But the degree that I have is more like that you're a teacher of a history. It's not like I'm a historian per se. Like I don't go to archives and trying to investigate stuff. It's a degree for teaching basically secondary and in university students. So that's kind of what I have. But I felt like I wanted to be an archaeologist. And then when I went to uni, I was like, all the archaeological stuff was actually not exciting at all in Slovakia. So I was like, meh, I might need to reconsider. Oh yeah, I did. I spent less than 2 weeks. It's possible because we had a private tour guide and she was damn expensive. I was telling to my friend, I don't know. But in the end, I was happy. But it was the price for like private guides, all the entries, private chauffeurs. So the chauffeur would have picked us up at the airport. And then we went to Arga right away. And I was like, this is so exciting. This is amazing. It's just so funny that I haven't recorded myself. You guys would have laughed. Oh, yeah, I know haters. Kumar, I think so. It's just sometimes I just get so irritated because sometimes I feel like like there is an expectation of me to understand Indians, but not the other way around. Like I'm not trying to force anything on you. Like I'm doing it as a hobby. I'm just trying to bring you like how we would think about it. So for example, the Graham Hancock movie, I was actually so shocked that it was such a backlash. Because the way I would read from my end of the world, the situation is like he was actually really rating India high, but then the groups were talking about like, oh, degrading India because still talking about aliens. But aliens, we talk like in the West, is not like, I don't think anyone thinks about it in a way that is degrading, but then I didn't know your context for that, right? So I think it's just so important to exchange and appreciate their different points of view, and that where you're coming from in perhaps my part of the world may not necessarily trying to be offensive or ridiculing, but it might come to you because of your own experiences. If I had income skeleton just from YouTube, I would be poor as if I would not be able to survive a day, literally. Oh, thank you, interesting explorer. Yeah, I guess, like I'm trying to be as honest. Like my intention, full disclosure, obviously, is not to offend anyone. That's not my yeah, that's not how I am in general. So yeah, thank you. 3 months and older than supplies and you spending how many times. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do. I feel like I'm maybe a bit of a more of a comfortable animal if I can. So I actually hate planning holidays. You guys, you have no idea. So I always am like talking to friends who are going somewhere. It's like, can I join? Because I have a really good friend of mine and she plans all the trips and then I just tag along. She books everything. I just feel like planning holidays is such a waste of time. Share some views on inflation. You know what? Everything is so much more expensive, and then they're going to increase all the prices in Slovakia from New Year. So I literally started to write a list of things that I need to buy because I know for the next 3-4 years it will be tough. So that's, I don't know, like things going to shit, to be honest. Why you think? Oh, Rahman, hello to Rajasthan. Yeah. Thank you, Baba. Jane, what is your initial at the starter channel? You see, for example, this question I get all the time, and I have it in my in my YouTube videos. So when I see that questions, it's kind of yeah, like I'm interested in spirituality. That's kind of a main driver. Obviously, India is rising, so I want to know what India is all about. Perception about good and bad had changed since then. The thing is, I think I spoke in one of my videos about these things. And thank you for Sanatani Monk for the congratulations. And I didn't come there with expectations. Many of you were telling me, but I'm not. I guess we all judge, right? But when I go somewhere, I'm not in like a judgmental type of space, if that makes sense. What I was really surprised at was the quality of the roads. Then I was surprised that there are no rules on the roads, and then you have very interesting traffic. So if there was actually traffic rules, you would get somewhere way faster. What else? Like the main things that stand out, the cleanliness, I'm afraid. Especially I felt like there was a huge difference between Jaipur and Rishikesh. Like I felt like the second we crossed the state border, it was way cleaner. So it was surprising. But then I felt like very sorry for the cows that were like trying to eat the plastic bags. So that was a bit sad. Yeah, I should go through the purposes. You know why that is? Yeah, I started to export in 4K. So obviously it takes way longer. But I have a virtual camera, and that subscription expired. And I realized, and you guys let me know in the comments, because I've been told that Shreya, thank you so much for the super chat, it means a lot. And I realized that perhaps it's the virtual camera that's doing that, so I'm just deciding, I think from now on, I'm going to shoot in this setup. I'm going to shoot with my actually laptop camera and see what happens. Yeah. Namaste, Hanuman. What's going on in France? What's going on in France? I don't know. I honestly do not watch the news. There, like I know that particular topic. I think many people have maybe very similar views than you guys do. Like our country is against illegal immigration. What can I say? Tomorrow. Oh my gosh, Deco. I am keeping all my fingers crossed for you for tomorrow. Really great at Oxford. I actually do prefer Cambridge. Gaurav, thank you so much. It means a lot. Oh, thank you, Hanuman. I can't see your name, Pecan. It says, look, can you see CGF1? That's what I can see. Thank you, Akan. Just charge foreigners more. Oh, no, cool. Please. Honestly, when I was with my Indian friend, rickshaw cost 1/3 of what they were trying to charge us, literally. So we had to stand far when they went to haggle. And it was just really like heaven and hell type of a thing. I felt like everyone thought we were millionaires. I don't know if I talked about it actually, but I'll tell you now. So when we were at Taj Mahal and someone in Agra, we went to like a ceramic place. So there was a Taj Mahal family that was doing like the ceramic kind of a tippy tangy, and literally this guy's, this costs only 700 euros. This costs only 1,000 euros. I was like, what do you think that I have so much money? Like literally I think the average salary after tax in Slovakia is like 1,000 euros. So, and he's charging 1,000 euros. And the costs are disproportionate between India and Slovakia when it comes to food and stuff. So I really don't know why people see white person and they think that it's we're somehow rich. Thank you, Bashavi. Hi, Niraj. Yeah, I should actually come like a season where it's actually cold here and it's hot there. Ladakh or Kashmir. Do you know what? I always wanted to go to Himalayas in Nepal as well. But let's see. Hi, Harsh. I am indeed of Slavic origins. Interesting one. I don't think so. I really don't think he's a sympathizer. I think we have to play we are a small country, right? So you have to play a very, I guess, politically correct dance between different states. Like we take our energetical dependence is basically 100% on Russia, whereas our other alliance is in NATO and EU. So it's a tricky one. Yeah. I live in Bratislava. In Kerala. 2,700 pounds. You see? No, I've spent way more. I think I spent around 3. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It I think India is very expensive with regard to offshore. So I'm being told, then you guys tell me. I'm being told that offshore is apparently, I did not know, is very controversial, and boy, I don't like the backlash. Okay, thank you. So, no one told me about what's happening. Maldives want to work with India again. What's happening? What's happening? What in US? Maldives want to befriend you again. You guys live in a complete, like, I can't express that. And even after I've been there, it feels like it's just totally, completely different world. Just so universes apart. Yes. Thank you, Akhilesh. Which YouTube channels you follow often? Ooh, I don't think I have favorites, to be honest. Yeah, I don't have favorites. I sometimes follow like a celebrity nonsense, but not Indian. And the more in the West. For example, there's a guy called Sloan who does like celebrity exposes. This is sometimes interesting. So yeah. What else? Thank you, Nicole. Exactly. Like you basically save the whole year to go for a trip like that, and then everywhere you turn, it's just people are trying to get the money out of you. So, yeah. Was haha, this is a funny one. Is it possible so we'll be interested in Indian guys? I don't know. I don't consider myself, and this is going to sound weird, so you guys bear with me. I don't consider myself like a normal Slovak girl, if that makes sense, because I've just came back to Slovakia. Like I left with university and then came back after many years, basically decades, back to Slovakia. So I don't really know how people date here. I would think perhaps Tinder. I don't know, but I think that why not? Why wouldn't they be? I don't listen to Bollywood songs, I'm afraid. My music taste is not to anyone's liking. Let me tell you that. Everyone laughs at me. Well, Slovakia and Slovenia, there's a lot of fun between those two countries. We're not even like, I don't know. It was a big part of the kind of big hung. I'll say it in Slovak, Uhorsko was like an empire. And yeah, but I don't think I really understand much Slovenian, but what is very typical of both countries that on a monthly basis they exchange correspondence because people mostly mistaken them. The Do you read Vegan? No, Akhilesh, I'm afraid I haven't read that one. I told my family is about Europe the same thing. Okay. India won the both men and women's section to chess. Yeah, you guys mentioned. Oh, there are many books behind me. That is little. If you actually, my dream is to have a huge ass library. So when I was growing up, there were like a lot of Argentinian soap operas that was like popular over here. And I remember one soap opera, and they had this huge, like really huge book, like a book room. And I love that. I literally have hundreds of books on my Kindles. I actually have to. I'm a sucker for knowledge. What can I say? I wish I could just apply it a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, don't you think that now Europe is facing serious issues with immigration? I guess Western Europe is. It doesn't really relate much to me right now. I don't think we have an issue with that right now. But I think a lot. It's interesting. I was just speaking to so you guys want to hear some real life insights. So I was speaking to my clients. One is in the US, one is in the UK. And we're discussing, like, one is from New York, another one from London. And she was saying in New York it's so bad, the immigration, that she said no one would pay her to go out after 7 o'clock. That is just so bad. And I felt like when I've just been to London, it felt very different vibe. And I've asked her, my client, and she says, no, 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 you're right. I don't know. It just felt, it wasn't the London I'm used to. Let me put it that way. And I think that the criminality and all that has increased also over there. So luckily, Slovakia, I still feel like it's the safest country. I think like our countries, like Central European, I personally think that Central European countries are the future of Europe if they will not try to destroy us before that. So we have a lot of people from like Spain, Portugal, like Italy coming and working here. A lot of them are doing that in like Poland when I used to live there. So I see that, and like if those Western colonial powers have to go to the poor brothers in the what they would call Eastern Europe, which is de facto Central Europe. Yeah, but right now Slovakia is not doing that great. You know what? I wanted to buy a Rigveda, but I couldn't find it in India. I was trying to buy it actually. You look like an auntie. Oh my god, I'm so old. Ah, Antrix, thank you so much. I haven't watched Bahubali movie, I'm afraid. And Rajat, thank you for congratulations. Do you know what? You guys, I would love next time I come to India, someone invites me for Indian wedding. I want to go and I want to experience Indian wedding. This is what I want to go to India next. That it would be such a great thing for me to see. I'd love that. I would love that. Any takers? What is the music? I just like put on just some chillax for all of us. Thank you, Delicious. What was the history of Czechoslovakia? I think you would need to Google a video on that one. It's a long topic. Gregory, very informative. India is definitely world in itself. It's a TRS Sanjeev Sanal. He's working as an advisor, but you'll get to know more about India's vision. Interesting. I'll have to check this name out. I don't like Marvel movies. Okay. The full disclosure, I really don't like fantasy. I am a chick flick kind of a lady. Or I do watch Netflix. I do watch Netflix shows. So like Real Housewives, not Real Housewives. The kind of, I enjoy the real estate shows. Especially like Selling the Sunset, Selling the OC, Selling Laguna Beach. Bhavesh, I don't think I have a favorite singer. I like songs. I don't think I'm married to a person. Nobody can predict what's in Modi's mind. Okay, so you don't know why he went to the US then. The background music. It's just a chillax music. Is that bothering you guys? Because I can turn it off, I think. I just wanted to have some sort of like a nice undertone. Kyle Shunt, thank you. Very kind of you. Oh, Nicole. Gosh, there is. I'm discovering now that I'm learning more about like old Slavic history or whatever. I found a guy who literally talks about Rigveda and he speaks English, and I wanted to do a podcast with him just to share, because the level of knowledge this guy has is like, it's like mad. He's like spiritual and stuff. I've heard some people that we apparently Indo-European group of languages is not a thing. Yesterday, I think I listened to like a one Slovak guy who was saying that this is not the correct history, but everyone has a point of view. So I think like if I could get hold of these people somehow, we could all learn a thing or two. But the original guy that I'm thinking about, he just he talks about Slavic in relationship to Rig Ved. So I don't know. I want to get him on, but there is no email for him. Thank you, Sandeep. I don't know your music, Denise. Oh my gosh. Okay. My music taste. What do I like? So I like things like Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, Sean Paul. I even like Toto, Tracy Chapman. What else? Let me see what I have on my phone. I'll start, like they say when you disclose your playlist is like super private. Who do I have here? I have Rita Ora. I have Jordan Sparks. Yeah, I like all things featuring Sean Paul. Like 90s music, Airplanes, B.O.B. Roxette. It's like they have some very good songs. So everything from everywhere, really, because I think I'm a song lover. I'm not an artist lover. Ed Sheeran, Galloway Girl, love that song. Despacito, the next episode, Snoop Dogg. What else do I have? Lenny Kravitz again. Chris Brown, With You. I'll Be Edwin McCain. Livehouse, You and Me. A lot of stuff like that. Population of Slovakia is 5 million. Rojat, yes, Zuzana is my real name. We don't have meanings behind our names, I'm afraid. This is not very, I think, Slavic name. Maybe people that are more traditional names, they do, but not really, not us. We see. If you want to, if I want to visit your country, which places? It's a tricky one. It does depend what you want to do. Like I think usually people come to Slovakia. I think Slovakia is the highest density of castles in the entire Europe. I think. So a lot of castles. There is one castle that looks like almost like a Disney castle. Mountains. If you are into hiking, yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know what else. Yeah, what else? Yeah, Bratislava. I'm not originally from the capital, so I don't really rate Bratislava that high. But I just met in London a friend of mine who'd just been to Bratislava with like a stag do, and he said it was amazing. The food was amazing. Everyone was nice. I was like, okay. So I guess when you come as a foreigner, it will be a good thing. Just Slovak language. Da-da-da. No, we don't have midsummer. This is not Sweden. And I'm so happy that we have better weather than Sweden. I know that they have midsummer. I don't know if any other countries have midsummer outside of Sweden, but no, and I wouldn't have even known that if I didn't meet someone that actually lives there. That is like a foreigner, not Slovak person. I haven't read Harry Potter books, I'm afraid. Ha. So this is an interesting thing to ask, and I hope everyone is listening to right now, like fully tune in to what I'm going to say. In Europe, we really do not care. Like no one cares about the next country. I don't know, maybe it's not comprehensible for you guys because you're very invested. They don't care. Western Europeans, they think we are trash in our part of the world. So this is when I get really pissed off and irritated about like, oh, you Europeans. I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about. First of all, they don't rate us, they don't care, and we don't care either. I think the mentality is very, very different to what you guys might perceive it to be based on the comments and the way you're judging stuff. So we just simply don't care. We just care about surviving. Like, and again, I'm speaking about normal people because some people might think that I'm talking about politics. This is a different story, but ordinary people just don't care. Literally, no one cares. That's the MO. I don't know anything about your country because it's a very small nation. It's not a Slovakia is totally not an important nation on the world stage. And with our consolidation of money and prices increasing, it's going to be even tougher for Slovakia to be competitive, for Slovakia to grow. Kind of fucked. We're not important, but you know what's great about not being important? No one wants to come here. No one wants to invade us. You know, we're safe. And I'd rather be not important and safe than important and not safe. So yes, I don't think perhaps Slovaks are that open-minded. Obviously, it differs from city to city. Slovakia is a very small country that has gone through a lot of oppression, like you guys have. Just reading a book about on this, something we were never taught in our schools, and it just really pains me. You know, like how you were talking to me about Taj Mahal, that people fingers being cut off, and the same was happening here for like by Hungarians to Slovaks for centuries. So it's like literally from 19th century there was something called Hungarization, and the things that they were doing to Slovak people, I am shocked that we have survived as a race. Let me tell you this much, because it's a small amount of people. They were literally for all the people that were fighting for like Slovak ethnic group were put in jails, severely killed. And after putting in jails, they get fines, like fines of in their money was like, let's say 22,000 euros for now. And that money you just had to get from other people to support you. So Slovak people had to really, I guess, unite. But the Hungarization, how they were like, just because you spoke Slovak, you were removed from school. They were just like getting rid of people if you were speaking Slovak. If they would make up things that you were in some sort of a Slovak circle, you would be kicked out of school. You would be kicked out of being a teacher, of being a priest, everything. It was horrible. And honestly, I don't know how we survived. So yes, Slovak may be a bit more close-minded, but we also been through a lot, and it's been a very recent history. In fact, such a recent history that it goes until the Second World War. We have been severely oppressed and kind of killed by Hungarians. That's the reality. So naturally, people are skeptical about foreigners, but can you blame them? Love to Rajasthan. Robert Spira Spiritual Talks. No, I haven't. What are they about? Okay. So I can't read Hindi, but I'm taking you. I taking you that you're gonna tell me, and I'm gonna come to your wedding. What's your views on Dr. Ankit Shah interaction? I think he's a very lovely man. It was very hard to manage him when it came to conversing, but I thought he was really nice and very sweet, in fact. Because America still France built nuclear submarines. Okay, do you know? Shiru, I don't. Oh, that's another thing. I think I would love to see that, just like an experience. I think that would be fun. Happy late congratulations to your wedding, Vijay. Um, by the way, to your second question, they're trying. You know what? I have watched it online, not the entire thing. I got myself a book as well. You know that I'm still trying to do a podcast with what's his name? Now I can't recall the name of the guy. The one that was on the TRS with Ranveer, Nilesh Oak. So he told me that I need to read this book before I speak to him. So I have to. You see, this is exactly why I don't share my music taste. Please don't judge me. I like the music I like. I'm a very pop person. Oh, Harish, thank you so much. I don't have any. My movie particular taste is chick flicks. Sorry, boring when it comes to these things. And I like DiCaprio movies. I've been always a big fan of DiCaprio. Um, Sweet chubby cheeks. Jesus, I look like a hamster, you guys. I always said like I have chubby cheeks. Well, Seth, thank you so much. Way to go, way to go. But if you guys continue liking this video and sharing, you know, we will have bigger family. But it would be really good if you guys could let me know what do you reckon that what would you like to see more of, or like would you like to maybe get this channel to get transformed into, like what would be of interest? Oh, my favorite place in Slovakia I visit the most. My favorite place is my home, my parents. I guess so. India won to US and wars which are going between Russia, Ukraine, and Middle East, so it can fully focus on China. Biden said China is testing our patient. Okay, interesting development. We'll see what happens. I guess if I think what will happen in the US, we have a third world war, and let me tell you, they bomb Slovakia right away, and then you guys, if you don't see me appearing on YouTube, you'll know what happened to me. Ooh, what will you do if you become a billionaire? I don't know. I haven't thought about becoming a billionaire. My passion is to help people to find a purpose in life, to literally love themselves, and so they, you know, like hurt people. So if you're a fully healed human, you don't hurt others, and you can spread the life further. And I've always been passionate about homeless people, and I feel it's also it has a lot to do with mental health. And if I could, I would really try to own that question. Ritik, what do you mean about hope you will not make a U-turn? Can you speak anything in Slovak language? What would you like to hear? Let me know. What would you like me to say? What's my opinion about India? I really enjoyed my time there. The people were so nice, honestly. Really enjoyed it. Again, I mentioned about the food, for like the ones that I had, there was some better food, some not so much, like because I don't like spices. I've been asking everywhere to have everything without spice. So for me, the food was okay-ish. So I genuinely think that India is going to become, I think that my view on India, seeing what I've saw, was a huge development, at least the parts that I've seen. And obviously I know that I only seen very little. but I felt like, wow, this country is going to skyrocket. Like in the next 10, 20 years, it's just going to be a completely different country. Who knows? Maybe I move there. I don't like fantasy movie indeed. I want to say, oh, bless you, Guru. Is it too loud? Okay, so now I turned it off. Is it better? Please say yes. Which is your favorite country in except Slovakia? Whew. I don't know if I have a favorite country. You know what? It's my favorite city. My number one favorite city is Budapest, and then it's London. I felt very much at home in both. Oh, okay. Don't play the music. Okay. I know nothing about Zoroastrianism. I don't know. Like for me, who you come across spirituality. I'm not too sure I understand the question, but I came across spirituality since I was 14. It's many decades ago now. Kunal, absolutely, they did. Western European countries, just for everyone, have done a lot of war crime. Yes, they have. Slovaks, we did not. This is why, when people are Indians are trying to generalize Europe, I find it so blatantly crazy because the Western Europe and if we talk about like the Iron Curtain and Eastern Europe, it's two different worlds. We have I feel like we have absolutely nothing in common except for a few food brands and Zara. Fact 100%. 100%. Okay. I did not watch the Kalki movie. So the thing is, like, if I was to watch Indian movies, I feel like I need to buy another streaming service. Like, the YouTube is getting really expensive. Is there any chance? Honestly, I don't even have time to review and see how other people are reacting to those movies, so they are not, copyrighted and their things are taken down. So just all of you that are here now, when I've done a Ramayana, the Japanese version, literally maybe a week or two ago, they came to me and they said, you have to take those videos down. Like, no one's even watching them anymore. It's a year old. Like, literally everything, like videos, it's just very, very tricky. I don't know how others do it. I don't really have 5 hours just to spend on surfing on internet to see how people actually do those reactions that they don't get, like taken down. I don't really follow Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, Russia. I kind of stopped. I was like, if I'm supposed to die, I'd rather die in my country. I love Ramayana. I read it this Christmas. You're right that not being important is the only thing saving you from this crucial world. I'm wondering our country doesn't have any problems. Yeah, I think that people underestimate not importance on the world stage. I do play sport. I do play tennis. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram. It's the exact same handle as for my YouTube channel. But I do play tennis. I love tennis. Thank you, Akash. Arohi, that's an interesting question. I can't explain it. I don't think I can, actually. It's been since I was 14, many decades ago now. I've always been I've always been fascinated by the unknown. Like you can never really truly know, and the mysteries fascinate me. So maybe because of that. With external Gaurav, actually, there is no update. I wrote him an email, and it's funny enough, my boss has asked me today because when I told her about, like, who I met, like, oh my God, I met this guy. And today she was like, oh, by the way, like, did he come back to you? The problem with that is that when I sent him an email, his email address bounced back. Tried 3 times and it kept on bouncing back. So I copied in other email addresses from Foreign Ministry. And what happened was no one's responded. And she goes like, no, you should follow up. So I guess I'll follow up maybe this or next week, just to give them just to give them a bit of time. I can tell that there are more important things on his table right now, because a lot of things are happening in Slovakia. So I'm sure he would not be prioritizing that. Someone from also, do you have any take? I think I responded to that. Are the question repeating? You know why people think that you might be Pakistani? Simply because many Polish people lived in London and there are lots of Pakistani. So like when I remember London, I guess one nationality that stands out for me is Pakistani. Bhanu, I already been to India this June. You were like, okay, and really salty about developments being very slow. Jesus, really? Oh my God! You should compare with Slovakia. They can't do a bloody highway from east to west for 10 years. It's ridiculous. In fact, apparently it's due to some sort of laws that we have in place and like lots of environmental issues. No, I was thinking like everything is just so built up. Like you would see very like poor buildings, but next to it like something super modern. I love that. I was like, wow, if they go to this space, bloody hell, in 10 years, it's just going to be a completely different country. Yes, Slovakia Kunal is a very developed country. I don't know what's gonna happen. It feels like the new guy. So I asked a friend and I was like, so what on earth is going on? I don't have time to review the news or understand what's actually happening in the UK. And anyone here from the UK, feel free to chip into this debate. You know what? So they elected Labour. I've never lived in the UK that was governed by Labour. And apparently that they found the country in such a shit show that they had to make a U-turn on everything. Now, convenient excuse. I think at one point at work, we were laughing like one of my colleagues, she was like, I'm going to be a politician. I'm going to promise you everything. I come to power and basically I'll say, no, there is no money for that. So it's just very hard. I don't know what's going to happen there. I think many people I know that believe that the UK is going to be better. I was thinking that maybe when the Labour comes in, they will try to rejoin the European Union, but the European Union is just such a shit show. It's such a shit show that is incredible. I don't know if like some people talk about the European Union falling apart. It would not surprise me actually. Because they're forcing, it was really all right when it was just like a train union and you could and the free travel, but since they're forcing all these green deals and stuff like that, yeah. So what are the things, Shivam, I should invest in when I would want to invest in India? Let me know. I feel like India is perhaps good for investments. Ravi Prashad, hi. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, Vishal, really, like it means a lot. Like I love when people actually can see the genuinity. Like I'm not trying to obviously trying to be a bitch or whatever, but I can just share with you my viewpoints. That's all that I can. And yeah, it's looking nice. Oh, thank you. Yeah, these are actually really old ones, but I like them. They're the white gold. This is from my godmother. Yay. So let's continue. You should know about Indian history. Kings like okay, hang on. Real estate investments been written for outsiders. Okay. In India, Europe is majorly about UK, Germany. Del, thank you so much. The problem with this channel is that everyone just sees me and they don't even know where I'm from. And they just keep spreading hate. And I'm like, when is this going to stop? I definitely do not like fake people. I do actually have a lot of friends, but I feel like I have genuine friendships. So sometimes I really like don't speak to people. Like my best friend, someone I would consider my best friend, lives in Australia, and maybe I speak to her once a year now. But before we spoke all the time. But I, appreciate that people, don't have time. Things change. People change in a way, but what I love about my friendships is like when someone calls me up after 10 years, it just felt like we've just left off yesterday. So that is kind of friendships that I cherish. I don't need to speak to people on day-to-day basis. Obviously, if you were speaking to all the people that I know on day-to-day basis, I would not be able to survive. I would be only talking to people all day long. But no, I do have a lot of genuine friends, I believe. So everyone wants me to talk to Abhijit Chava, but like, please tell me what do you want me to talk about? Because I am. The thing is, like, they all talk about political topics, and I would have to be prepared, and I just don't really know what I can try to figure out, but like, if you guys have any topics that you would want me to talk to him about, it's just then I have to spend time studying him, studying his topics. Like I don't want to come like an idiot on the podcast before I would go. So if you have any suggestions, do let me know and I'll see where I get from there. Actually, there's one guy that someone reached out to me about podcast a while back, but I haven't had time to go back to him. He's like a spiritual person, so I thought I would bring him on the channel. But I also need to figure out like what I'm going to exactly talk to him about. I wanted to talk about Kalki. I wanted to talk about maybe if you know some sort of Slavic Vedic connection, stuff like that. Maybe a spirituality in the midst of the current day events, like how to stay above. Hang on, this is not the question. I have not really tried to collab with Carolina. No, I think that she was going through, or she's currently, you guys pointed to me that she's going through things. History of Europe from his perspective. See, I don't know, maybe the modern Europe coupled with spirituality. I don't know, Ricky boy. And by the way, thank you so much for standing up for me in the comments. Alexa, stop. I remember you. So on Shiva and Agora, it's interesting. Yeah, Slavic Indigos, but that's not like topic for Abhijit Chava, right? Like he's more like geopolitics, and I don't, like obviously we all of us, we have certain views, right? But then just to have an educated conversation around it is a bit of a tricky one. I don't want to come across like an idiot. So that black dial pink belt watch. Oh, you guys, I bought this recently. I was like, I want a cheapest step tracking watch. You laugh. Yeah, so basically I Yeah, I'm just trying to get back to my fitness levels and healthy eating and all that kind of. So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, someone mentioned that they like my watch, and it's just literally for me to track my steps. And yeah, my parents are still alive, and I do live by myself. Carolina G is in dangerous condition just because stupid Indian who settled in Germany who wants to break India. Oh gosh. I don't want to get into that or in the middle of these things. Mhm. Well, if I show you that I'm shooting videos, it will not be fun. What do I do? My life, I guess, is that much boring because I do this. I read a lot of books, so there's not that much. And when I go out, when I go on trips, I try to do live. So please do follow me on Instagram. So on Instagram, I try to go more live when I can. The problem with me is I'm not very much of a social media person. I'm rather a private person as well. But yeah, so in the weekends I tend to either play tennis or like go for a little trip. So I do clean my house as well. It takes a couple of hours, and I cook. Or maybe we just create a community on Instagram, and I'll just be going live there. What do you guys think? And you can watch with me some Netflix when I'm just like, I want to be mentally checked out on Friday, and I just want to watch a cooking show. um, so many comments. Which book am I reading these days? Huh? Oh, this is the book that I'm reading these days. It means Slovakia, we hate you. So this is what I was mentioning earlier about Slovak oppression that I didn't even know myself. I'm halfway through, but I'm also halfway through many other books. Like, where is that? Where is my Bhagavad Gita? Yeah, the Gita. I have finished this one. This one is actually this guy. Is Aurel Stodolan. That's his name here. He was clearly better than Einstein, apparently. So they were very good collaborators and stuff like that. Very interesting about like a smart Slovak people. So when he was in some sort of Zurich University, and I don't think anyone of the big people joining even Einstein he had the highest acceptance score, and him and Einstein were also not like working together, but they were kind of friends, and he really respected him a lot. So yeah, but a lot of things. How's your hi lyrics world? Trying to go deep. Oh, I have lots of beauty spots. Ricky, we it's a tricky one. It's a very tricky question. So obviously you have Slavic countries, and this is where I think our opinions differ with Indians and stuff. We have Slavic countries where we are post-communistic countries, let me put it that way, which we switched to capitalism because we live in capitalism. But the mentality, I would say for most, especially older generation, but I also like see it in capitalism. It's sometimes even worse than communism. I don't know. But yeah, like we were told all our lives to shut up and just do what you're told. That's pretty much what I'm used to. So, ta-da-da. Uh, Rohi, yes, I do know about Autobiography of Yogi. I have the book. I also started to read that. Gosh, like if I was to read it, I could never do YouTube. Trust me, I have hundreds of books. I have 2 Kindles. Thank you to Bangladesh, Arup. More about Slovak people. I think Slovak people are very similar to Indian people. I think that they are very family orientated. I don't think we respect our elders as much as you guys do. Um, but yeah, the whole family aspect is the thing. Like they're the happiest when they come home after work to home cooked meal, and on the weekend they can go to family celebrations with like a nice cake. We do like a cake here in Slovakia. So yeah. So Kunal, what do you suggest? What are the topics that you suggest? I just don't know. Yeah, I just don't want to come across like a fool. Let me tell you that one, right? Susanna, what do Eastern and Central European think? So I can. It's hard, right? Like right now, what I'm going to tell you perhaps is just my view and generalizations. So we do know all the crimes that they committed. Let me put it that way. So this is how we look at them. So that is one thing. The second thing is we know that they're better than us in the sense that, well, they had time and money to build themselves up to different standards that we have. Things are working better than there. But I think especially the older generations, like the older generation would tell you, and this is not about Europe now, but about America, like everything evil comes from the US. Literally, this is what older generation of Slovak believes. Because it does. It was just a lot of changes that came from like the capitalism that were not really they were not really great, and you guys can see it as well what's happening. So yeah. I don't think that we particularly, the thing is, like, what do people think? Like, and I said earlier, we don't really concern ourselves, and I see it a lot with Indians. Like, you guys really care about what others think. We don't. Like, I genuinely don't think anyone cares. I don't care about what English people think about me. I perhaps know what they might think about me. I don't care. I don't give a flying F about them. It is just, I think it's just very important for you guys to understand, because of that. You like to understand the perception, which is not wrong, but we just don't care. I genuinely don't believe anyone cares. Oh, Kalyashan, thank you so much. It's very kind. I use an iPhone. What's the most popular sport in Slovakia is actually ice hockey. Football comes second. I actually do not know. No, I'm actually shifting my views when it comes to spirituality as well. I don't know where I currently stand, so I don't really want to share. But yeah. Okay, so numericals, and I will count until 10 for you guys in Slovak. Raz, jedna, dva, tri, štyri, päť, šesť, sedem, osem, deväť, 10. 10. Don't know. See, this is the thing. You can't have a prominent knowledge in every aspect. That's impossible. Like, you'd have to all day, all night just do studies. Shivam, I think there's more to it than just Vedic tradition, but I think it's connected from what I've seen. If you want to think about what is God, and to me, I have my understanding of God, and to me, it's like the energy and I don't know, like an intelligent power. So that's kind of how I interpret it with my, let's say, limited understanding. But I think I think so far I found the best dramatization, visual one in the movie Avatar, when they were just showing like how everything is interconnected. At some point, maybe. Wow, India was going to go to war with the US. Do you guys believe that? Mm, um, Da. I don't watch UCL. Ta-da-da. Akshay, you're complaining that I'm not looking at your question. Can you tell me how is that a question, please? That's the first one that I see. Ta-dam. Tell me about Slavic people. I don't really have the knowledge. Like like a book like this, I've ordered maybe 10 of those, just to try and study about the old. Basically, our history, Slavic history, starts with Christianity. And that's, yeah, and that's a bit crazy. But I'm digging into it and trying to figure out the many opinions, what was going on before. It's a tricky one. So there is point, because the way I understand the divine or everything, when we're talking about God is everything. That's what people are missing. That's what I think that people need to realize, that is the intelligence that is everywhere, literally. Everyone is in their own effect a little God, spark of the divine. So there is always a point. The point is to lead the life that at the end of that, when you die, you will not regret. That's the thing. Okay. Okay, guys. I think we are like 15 minutes over time. Thank you so much. I think I'll conclude it here. It's been really great to connect with all of you. Hi, Amarjit, and thanks for the congratulations. Thanks for being with me. I really do appreciate you. I don't really take this for granted. For me, it's a lot of fun, especially when I can connect with you like that and we can have a little fun. Sorry that the music didn't quite work out as I had anticipated. But I know it's also very late over there and I have friends coming over in actually 5 minutes. So thank you. Thank you again. Please, continue to engage with me. I love that. Wish you all the best and I'll see you in the next one. You do take care. I'm sending lots of love. Bye-bye.